Hello, everybody. Oh my gosh, it's Jill from the Detox Girls, and I'm so glad you're here because I have a special guest today. Well, let me first do okay, I was going to do the medical disclaimer, but let me do an introduction really quickly. So this is Bianca. She is our friend, and I'm so excited that she's here because she has just been somebody that's been in my life for such a long time, and we talk routinely, and I love it. She has just been, like a lot of us, let down numerous times by the medical industry. And, she wasn't willing to accept that she had to live with her health issues. She knew that there was a root cause. She knew that she could do better, and she wasn't willing to accept that this was going to be her life. So her story is incredible. And she definitely has a mission for moving forward from like this dark place that she was in. And now she helps and empowers other people along the way. And I love it because she's shining brightly her own light plus light for others so that they can move forward in their journey. Hi, Bianca. Thanks for being here.
Hey, Jill, thanks for having me.
Absolutely. All right. And I'm going to pause there and read the medical disclaimer because I don't think we'll be talking anything about that, but just in case, because you never know. So we welcome you to our presentation, and we do not claim to treat, cure, prevent any illness or disease. The information is provided for educational and entertainment purposes only. The information is not intended as any sort of medical advice or the substitute of medical advice for your physician or your qualified healthcare professional. You should always consult with your doctor or your healthcare professional for medical advice or information about your diagnosis and your treatment plan. This is just information for you to forward there. The information in the presentation has not been evaluated by the FDA or any other medical body, and we're just here to have a chat today. And I'm so excited because we've been wanting to do this for so long, and the timing needed to be right, and I believe that the time has come, and here we are. So thank you so much for being here, and let's just jump right in. Let's share your story. Where were you? How long ago? Tell us all the things, because I mean, I'm looking at that bright smiling face and I'm like, you look super healthy. What's up with that?
Yeah, so it wasn't always the case. I mean, the journey started back in 2019, so it's been 6 years. So what happened is at some point, and this was like the day after my 27th or 28th birthday, all hell broke loose for me. So it was every digestive issue imaginable. I had it. Everything just started happening within my digestive system, but I was also bedridden. I was non-functional, and the smallest task would require me to just rest for the remaining of the day. I had no more energy, and I was 27 or 28 years old. Like this is not normal. At the time, I was in and out of hospitals. Basically they referred me to a gastro, and the diagnostic that fell at the time was gastritis, which they gave me pills for, sent me back home. And
If you don't mind, I'm just going to pop in. In medical terminology, itis at the end of a word, itis at the end of the word is just inflammation of. So they basically gave you a very generalized label, because you will never leave a doctor's office without a label because they have to submit that to your insurance. So you had inflammation of the gastric system, gastritis. Okay, go ahead.
Yep, gastritis and IBS. And yeah, and every time now I mention IBS, I mean, same like what you just mentioned, is it's a label. It's a label. And if there's one thing I can say is don't become your label. Because basically after this diagnostic, I did not take this. It was impossible for me that I had been healthy before and that I could not be healthy again, because they basically told me, you have IBS, you will have to learn to live with this for the rest of your life. So that's impossible. That's not happening. No way that's happening. And doing my research, this is what got me to start my research, and I had to become my own doctor because no one would help me. So I was bedridden. All I had to do was research 5 to 7 hours a day, and that's all I could do. I had no more energy. So that's what I did. I'm self-taught, and that's basically, I did that for 2 years. And what I've come to discover is IBS is a term that they give to you when they've passed all the tests, right? But everything is normal. So there's something going on in there, but we don't know what it is. So go back home, learn to live with it.
You know, what's interesting is that, to me, the testing that happens at a doctor's office is not, in my opinion, these are just my opinions, this is not medical advice, in my opinion, are not either the right tests or not invasive enough, right? So they'll do a scope down there or whatever. But, you know, are we testing for what are all of the things that happen in a digestive system? We have viruses and bacteria and parasites and inflammation, and the inflammation is not your diagnosis. It comes from something. What's causing that? Why is your digestive system not healthy enough to take care of the microbiome? By the way, we all have a microbiome. We have multiple microbiomes, but in our digestive system, we have a microbiome. We should have good bacteria, good viruses, good parasites. We do have that biome, but it's when you are not a healthy enough person to keep the overgrowth from happening. And I would say that they don't test for that. And if you stop and, you know, I know you're not in America, like you're not in the US, I'm in the US, and I don't know if your commercials are like this, but the commercials are medications and things to put into your body, which I feel is irresponsible to have you ask your doctor for something. Isn't your doctor supposed to be the expert? But if you really hone in and listen, a lot of the times at the end, it will say, if you have a parasitic infection, don't take this, or tell your doctor, or this. To me, if a medication says that, then it falls on the responsibility of someone to test for parasites to know if you have a parasitic, and see how these like pieces of the puzzle come together. And for me, you don't have to be a doctor. You just have to sit with the common sense. You've got to set aside what you've always known, what you've always done. You've got to unlearn. It's time to relearn, and then have your own back and be like, listen, I heard this medication, but it said something about, you know, if you have a parasitic infection, shouldn't we be testing for that? Ask those hard questions, right? So anyway, yeah, sorry, went off on a little tyrant. But I'm sure, you know, they're asking you to live with a label for the rest of your life and live with symptoms for the rest of your life. But are they going to truly test everything that you needed? And by the way, I'm also an advocate for, if the test doesn't change the treatment, why are we necessarily doing the test? We have to, as a team, your doctor being part of your team, need to have that discussion about what is important to be tested, and is there anything we can do from a natural standpoint to just get moving and get, you know, with solutions.
And unfortunately, that's not, not a lot of, anyway, I know around here where I'm at in Quebec, I don't have access to that. I don't have access to healthcare practitioners that are willing to work with me, you know, so it's, and I love what you were mentioning, you know, about, yeah, absolutely. Like, I think when you bring it down, when you really go down the rabbit hole and you go down to the root cause of illness, and what I've been seeing a lot online is oftentimes the first part of the body where we'll get signs is often the gut. The gut will be, so many people are having gut issues, but then it's a cascade, right? So if your gut isn't going well and you don't address this and you don't listen to your body and you don't do something for it, then eventually it cascades into other parts of your body, and then everything is just out of whack. But when you boil it down, you'll find heavy metals, mold, parasites are at the root of illness, basically toxicity. And toxicity is something that, I mean, we're exposed, we're still in the womb and we're being exposed. Our mom is passing this down to us. We will pass this down to our children. Hence the reason why you're seeing autism rates skyrocket, why you're seeing these illnesses that were not present before, that are like so many children have issues to being born. You're exposed since you're in the womb, and you'll be exposed every day of your life. And this is everywhere. We all have it. So we're talking about doctors testing for, you know, doing the wrong testing. I'm actually seeing a lot of people that I've learned from have stopped testing altogether because they were not finding people that tested negative. They were just getting all positive results for heavy metals and parasites. So they stopped testing and they just started treating people because it's there, it's present, it's part of our world, you know?
So tell me what, like, if you could talk to yourself, if your current self could talk to your 2019 self, who was laying in bed, bedridden and all these things, and you could fast forward things 5 years for that 2019 person, What are the things that you learned along the way? This is not medical advice. This is what Bianca has learned for her own self, her own journey. But tell everybody what you have learned, what you have either trialed and errored on, because we've all done that. And what you've learned is like maybe something next step that people aren't realizing, like maybe they're doing something and they should be focusing on something else or something collaboratively.
So this is something that's so overlooked, and this is what I've been doing online. I've been called to help people through my journey, and what I'm seeing daily online is a lot of people who are detoxing, but they don't know how to do it in a safe way that supports the body and that supports the cells. I see so many people daily online thinking that they're herxing, that they're having die off, which a little bit of die off is normal. It can happen, but you shouldn't feel like you're dying from the die off. That's not normal. And you're just creating more damage to your body. And this is what I went through at the beginning. I literally felt like I was going to die when I started detoxing my body. And furthering my research, and hopefully this can be a shortcut for people who are just starting out, because there's so much information out there and it gets so overwhelming. I would say the fast shortcut is just support your cells, support your body. There's this thing, and I'm lucky to be part of your group because you guys have taught me this. So there's something known as, the cation exchange. Where when you're removing heavy metals from your cells, you need to be replacing at that exact same moment with trace minerals. And if you fail to do this, it's kind of like the cell collapses on itself. And in the long run, this will create what is called mineral gapping. It's also known as mineral depletion. And in the long run, you'll develop autoimmune disorders, which I see a lot of people online are experiencing. It's not die-off anymore. We're seeing full-blown autoimmune disorders. So know how to support your body. It's not just about killing or binding or chelating. It's about also support to your body. And detoxing can be done when it's done in a safe way, you can ease your way through it, and it's not that rough, and you're able to be functional while you're detoxing.
Yeah, great point. I think it's something that I've learned along the way too. I made that mistake as well, trial and error. It's how I also came upon the research of understanding the importance of minerals, how detox works, making sure. And I would assume that you did this too, where you read about the next shiny thing, the next magic bullet, this is going to cure you, right? Someone online said that this is going to cure you. And you're like, okay, I'm all in. And then we end up with 6 drawers of supplements that are totally useless because we never invested in a protocol. We never invested in something that was multifaceted and encompassed our entire body, because our whole body is one organ system. And you can't, even with digestive systems, right? Like, so digestive tract is miles long. It is, I mean, it's all shoved up in there, right? And everybody I talk to, and even if they've normalized it, oh no, I don't have digestive issues. And I'm like, really? No, like acid reflux, GERD, stomach upset after you eat? Oh yeah, yeah. I'm like, just don't normalize that, right? That's not normal. We're not supposed to feel like that after we eat. So I think when we realize that we have to not only kill off, but we have to bind and eradicate and move that out of the body while simultaneously nourishing the body, healing the digestive lining, lowering the inflammation, feeding, protecting, supporting, regenerating, all of those things. And it doesn't, that's not like one thing per thing. It's like one protocol that does all of that together, multifaceted, encompassing your whole body all at once. Agree?
Agree. And I mean, I'm sorry, but it's so old school thinking you see it online also. Well, how should I go about this? What's phase number 1 and 2 and 3? Well, detox pathways have to be open, and then you have to take care of the liver and then the colon, and then no, we're past that now. You can encompass that. Like it can be done all together, and it should be done all together. And I will quote an amazing doctor that I know that says that the body is a symphony, and that that's how it functions. It works all together. So address it all together.
Yes. Yes, I agree with that, because, that would be like when we think about going to the gym, we might have arm day, right? We're focusing on the arm, but in light of that, if you move your bicep, you are moving your tricep, you are moving your pecs, you're moving your wrists and your back. We can have digestive day. We can focus on the digestive system, but ultimately we do have to focus on the whole body, the cells, the organs, the blood, the tissue. Those toxins are buried deep down inside. They're being held in with biofilm. They're being fed by heavy metals. They're being fueled by inflammation, which a lot of people think inflammation is the root cause of illness and disease, but go one step further back, something's causing that inflammation. And inflammation is basically your body on fire on the inside. And we can't just drip a couple of drops. We've got to go at it full force, but gently and methodically and with purpose and intention to encompass the whole body.
Absolutely. And yeah, and you were talking about the biofilms and all that. Something else that's, I think, really important is it's not only about the parasites, when I was saying you bring it down to the root, the issue, there's heavy metals and mold there. But the thing is that these three, the parasites, the mold, and the heavy metals, are so tightly interconnected. If you don't address the mold and the heavy metals, you'll just keep having an overload of parasites because this becomes a breeding ground for them. This is where you'll find, where they lay the egg sacs and all that. So you need to be addressing this as a whole, or else you're never going to get better.
Yeah, I love that. I love to keep these kind of short and keep people wanting more. So what I would love to see is in the comments. And I know the very first question is going to be, okay, well, you've identified the problem. What's the solution? So we're going to put some information in the comments about solutions, but we would love to hear from you in the comments. What other questions is this bringing up? Let us know what you've done and how it's working for you, because I often find that people are like, well, I've been on this protocol, and I ask the question, how is it working? How long have you been on it, and how is it working? So even if it's working a little bit, the question is it only a little bit for like the last 5 years? Because let's elevate that learning. We are very much based in research, by the way. With your comments will come a source of education. We will give back to you in an education format so that you can learn more for your own journey. But we are looking to fast forward that for you. We don't want you here in 6 years going, oh, I'm just now learning what Bianca was saying. We want to be like, boom, here you go. Here's a video. Here's some information. Here's what you need. So share with us in the comments what you need. We're going to share in the comments some additional information, some guidance, some videos or such. We'll take care of that here at the end. And so we're really grateful that everybody joined us. I hope that, if you're dealing with digestive issues, IBS, gastritis, anything that is idiopathic is means like, I don't know, but you might have like idiopathic gastrointestinal issues. That simply means I don't know. And we get a lot of that at the doctors. So if we are of we don't know, then we need to start encompassing the entire body and really killing off, binding, eradicating it out of the body, and then protecting, supporting, regenerating. And that is what we are here for. So I hope that this has been helpful. I hope that this fast forwards your education, and let us know what your needs are. And we're so grateful that you're here. Thank you. And thank you, Bianca, for joining me today.
Thank you so much for having me. And I just want to urge everyone, don't let the diagnostic define you, and dive in, and that's what we're here for. And we will share all the info with you so you can kickstart your detox journey. Thanks a lot, Jill.
I'm seeing a part 2, by the way. So we are going to do a part 2 because there's an emotional side to it, an emotional side of healing where emotions can be pushed deep down and suppressed. And if you are someone who is owning your label of your illness and disease, we need to go over that, because if you are telling your body, I have this, then your body is going to hold on and keep this. So we're going to do a part 2 at some point where we talk about the empowerment of saying I am in my journey of overcoming illness and disease. I don't own it. I don't accept it. I'm going to release it. And I know that there's hope for healing. So I'm going to hold us accountable to a part 2. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you everybody for watching, and check out in the comments, and we will have some stuff down there. Thanks so much.